Well, welcome back, everyone. Jesse Rucinski Show. I am the one, Jesse Rucinski. Today we're going to talk about something that should be on everyone's mind because we've heard the word enough the last almost a year. It's probably been going on longer. Yeah, but that whole getting run over thing kind of knocked all the memory out. So, seems like only a year to me. But we have been like a separated people for years now, it seems. You know, the second Donald Trump said he was running, anyone that would think about voting him, supporting him, or anything, and him, like the fire was directly on all of us. Not everyone did it. Of course, not everyone did it. You know, not everyone went out of their way to talk down to half the country all the time. There were a lot of people that did for many, many, many years. Where it was just one new thing after another slammed down their throat about what the president did wrong this time. You notice every time they brought something up, it got debunked, and then you never heard about it again. They just moved on to something else. Like every time. Even Russia. It's funny that it's been proven all kinds of stuff for it. Pretty sure there were people from Obama's FBI that a lawyer from them got indicted. I'm pretty sure charged for altering emails to prove the point, and they got people that got in trouble for withholding exculpatory information to stop them from getting the warrant to spy on them. Like, so they did all kinds of shady stuff to do it. It's been proven. And they just moved on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, which is why it seemed like every 5 seconds between Russia, Ukraine, all the riots, he got blamed for the whole pandemic. Like, it's been never ending for these people, that support him and him, and then at the same time, people like Don Lemon and them, they've been out there saying that everyone, these people are just stupid sheep blindly following him. For 4 years. Was Anderson Cooper the other day said they're all going to go back to their Holiday Inns and their, the Olive Garden and celebrate like they did something special, like putting everyone that supports him, anything into one box. You can't, and they've been dealing with that for years and years and years. And told that they're all racist. You get told you're a dumb racist hick for, that has no education or anything for that many years. That's going to cause a lot of resentment. A lot. That goes without being said. And then no matter what got proven or what, it just kept going. And then we got to the summer where all those riots happened. Close to 1,000, at least 1,000 has to be. Buildings burnt down, looted, destroyed, damaged. Countless lives lost. Countless law enforcement officers that got injured or lost their lives, permanently blinded with people, putting lasers in their eyes. People's livelihoods destroyed in the middle of the pandemic when everything already pretty much sucked for a lot of these people, especially the small business owners and all that, who weren't allowed to open their business, weren't allowed to do anything. Their lives already were in hell. And then that started happening. And the whole time, again, that same media and politicians, all of them, kept saying it was mostly peaceful. And everyone that said anything about it was just told they're overreacting, or it's because it's, they're the black people that are doing all this. Now, if it was white people, it wouldn't be a problem. No, it shouldn't matter. Burning down buildings, looting stores, saying, screw it, what, they have insurance. No. Also, it doesn't matter who you are. It's wrong. And if you think it's right, you're crazy, and you're causing part of the problem in and of itself. Because there's nothing right about it. Nothing right about it at all. But then we had all those months where we kept seeing it night after night, at least on, And if you saw it on the mainstream, they were saying it was mostly peaceful. saying that was mostly peaceful, how much death and destruction happened. They're saying that, like, OJ was mostly peaceful that day? Or that all those cops during Rodney King, the scumbags that deserve to go to jail, deserve to get worse than what they got, really. Can't believe they even got off the first time, but all of them were mostly peaceful that day until that happened. Doesn't matter, it still happened. Peaceful protests were during the day. Then when the sun went down, we saw it night after night. Things burning to the ground, police precincts going down, commercial-grade fireworks shot into federal courthouses, Molotov cocktails and bricks and frozen water bottles thrown at police. Someone punched a police horse in the face at one point during one. I mean, that was all absolutely crazy. Except there are people, again, I'm not trying to just pick out on the left here, because there are people on both sides that were not helping anything. But people on the left saying that it was mostly peaceful. Setting up, Vice President-elect now, setting up pages for people to donate for bail money for these people to get them back out of jail, saying that they need to stay in the streets and keep fighting. Like, that's like, and putting down anyone that said anything like bad about it. How many months did we hear Donald Trump getting told that he was pouring gas on the flames, or stoking the fire, making things worse by calling them criminals and thugs? Well, I'm sorry, the peaceful protesters were peaceful protesters. That was one thing. When everyone started lighting things on fire, that went from a peaceful protest to a riot. People started looting. Turned into riot. Police cars and other people being, getting stopped in highways and dragged out of the cars. Getting their cars, like, riot. Like, I'm sorry, they covered their back for months and months and months. It started end of May, so it was going on. Some places, still. I think it's still going on in Portland. And they covered for them. Said it was mostly peaceful, we're all crazy. And then, even after they won presidency, they got the Oval Office. Then, they got the Senate, because they won the 2 runoffs in Georgia, regardless of how it was. And don't get me twisted. I don't know how election, I'm sure, if you could do bank fraud, wire fraud, computer fraud, you could do any kind of, I'm sure there's always some kind of fraud and everything. There always is. Tax fraud. Was it enough to change anything? Who knows? I do know that, states changing their own, breaking their own constitutions, like Pennsylvania, not supposed to do it, I think, within 5 days. They did it with 2. I'm pretty sure it was the Secretary of State and the state Supreme Court that was making all these things and laws, which they don't have the power to do, but that's another argument for another day. There were shady things that happened. I'm not saying it was going to change the outcome. I'm just saying it was there. People know it was there. And all they did, after 4 years of saying that Donald Trump stole it, Hillary Clinton was on there the week of the election saying that Donald Trump stole it, and she really, and she didn't lose. This whole time, for how many months I've been telling everyone that they're nuts if they thought anything shady happened. Well, you guys ran for 4 years saying that you were robbed. Over 4 years, really, between, election day and inauguration. And you just go and demon on them. They're all just stupid and all this. Now, thinking that, the outcome could be changed there. I mean, those people probably don't even read the Constitution. They don't know. They don't know the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. They don't know it. They didn't know if it could or not. They just listened to it. All you do is look it up. You knew it wasn't going to happen. I mean, that's all it takes. Well, I always say, no, power. Doesn't take much. You can get one for a copy of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, all a few dollars. Read it. You'll know stuff. Makes your life easier. But to yell at people for saying, calling them all idiots and crazy and sheep for saying that they think something shady happened after you spent over 4 years saying that something shady happened and he stole it and Hillary Clinton really should have been president, again, that's not going to help unify anything. That's not going to unify anything. And then, after all that, we get to Wednesday, which I was mortified by. I mean, I was just sad and, my heart hurt to see that we as a country got to that level, that it had to come to that. And sadly, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Do I want it to keep being dumb? No. Do I think it's going to hurt innocent people that had nothing to do with it? Yes. But I mean, it's just sad we had to come to this, but like coming out after saying all those things about it, yeah, the Orange Godzilla Hitler, as they pretty much treated him like all summer for demonizing people for, doing all that. Then you turn around and say that, call everyone that was out there doing it domestic terrorists, saying that all the, Capitol policemen are racist because if it was black people doing it, they just would have started shooting. How in the hell is that supposed to unite anything? Like, he was demonizing people, and, he's so divisive. You just called all cops racist again. Called everyone that didn't vote for him racists. Domestic terrorists. At one point, Nancy Pelosi, a few months ago, called us all enemies of the state. You can find it. It's on there. She did. And then he finally gets it. He says he's going to unify, and he immediately, first chance he gets when anything's happening, it's Vice President-elect, is divide everyone. Like, they're not going to try. Like, all you people that bought into it, they're not going to try. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. They're not going to try to fix any of it. They're not going to try to unite us. We've already seen that. It's their way or the highway. Parlor, gone. Trying to get rid of GOP senators, Congress people. Like, they're trying to just make people just get out and leave. So they have all control of everything for forever. Like, if you're okay with that, like, you actually, I think, might actually be, like, crazy. I know I am. Literally crazy. Not because I'm okay with it. I see enough doctors to know. But, like, how is it, like, I'm just confused as to how any of this story and anything that's happened and then the words that came after are supposed to unite anyone. Because all it did was drive a wedge farther between people. Like, it's not going to make anything better. I wish it would. But it's going to take people like me, like when I sat down I talked to Drew the other day. Dear old friend of mine, I haven't talked to him in months because the conversation just literally got nowhere. At least not anywhere pleasant. And we sat down and we talked like there was nothing wrong. Talked like human beings. That's what it's going to take. And all of us. They ain't going to do anything to try to unite us. It's going to take us as people actually learning how to communicate with one another and talk. I was part of the problem, he was part of the problem. We're all part of the media is part of the problem. Politicians are part of the problem. Trump, Biden. They're part of the problem. Like, everyone is. Because we all, like, there was just the media is the big one because they're spreading all of it. And demonizing everyone left, right, and indifferently. So it's going to take us getting together, actually starting to have conversations with each other again. Just something that we have, like, not had for years, it seems. And even when you have facts, what happened for years now? People turn around and they attack you. They don't argue the point anymore. They just go after you. Just tell you you're crazy, dumb, non-liberal. It's just holding on to your guns and Bible. And it just turns into that every time, even if you have bona fide, certified facts. And that doesn't get anyone anywhere. It just makes things so much worse. So it's going to literally, we all just have to learn how to communicate again. If that's anything that could be brought from me doing this right here, right now, is that we all need to learn how to communicate again. In some way. We're not all going to agree on anything. Hell, most of us aren't going to agree on very few things. But find those few things and just talk. Because it ain't going to come from the people running the show. Ever. They're doing everything they can. They got, big tech, media. I mean, everyone's on their side. Trying to, and look at everything they're doing now. You can't argue it. So, if you learned something from tonight, please, just try to figure it out. Learn how to communicate. Maybe even just be a little nicer. And it's going to take us, to ever get this ship even pretending to go in the right direction. Again, because we're just that far gone. Hate to say it, breaks my heart, but we are. It's going to take a long time for it to even improve a little bit. I think it's going to get a lot worse, but it's going to take us doing it and working together. So, that being said, I wish you all a good night. Till next time, peace.